Hello and welcome to this quick intro video regarding my newest NR series, the Holiday Winter Racing League. This video will explain the rules, mod, sign-up form, paint schemes, and more for this 4-race mini-series. Now, I of course announced the series just about a week or so ago before Halloween as a sort of spiritual successor to last year's O'Reilly Winter Street Stocks. And I came up with the series as a sort of middle ground between doing a full Street Stock season, which is of course 8 races, and just taking time to relax and plan for the future. But regardless, thank you to everyone who has suggested ideas or is currently suggesting ideas for this series. And without further ado, let's get things started. So starting off with the mod we're going to use is the NASCAR Nationwide 2008 mod by the, I guess now defunct SuperSpeedway.net. Now, if you have the NASCAR Nextel Cup 2007 mod, it's actually the exact same mod. However, one difference is that the Cup mod obviously uses the Cup physics, while the Nationwide Series mod obviously uses the Grand National physics, which are the physics we used for the past 2 Summer Series seasons, as well as last year's Winter Street Stocks. I chose the Nationwide mod though, because only we have the Grand National physics, which are physics I'm used to doing, like for testing and whatnot. But also, I just could not get the Cup Series mod to work, so yeah. So obviously 1 car per person, choose any number from 0 to 99, basically standard series procedures. And the car mix available this time will be Chevy, Ford, Dodge, and Toyota. First time we've had a Toyota in one of our series. I know I had a typo back in the first Summer Series info video. We had Toyota even though we didn't. So yeah, that was 2020 me there. Even though I made most of those slides like 2 years ago. But that's besides the point. Obviously, once signups are closed, they're closed. Unless someone, a ride opens up, like someone gives up the ride or someone gets kicked out or something like that. Obviously, use your real name or alias, no impersonation, please. Just like we've had in the last several series, as well as the Pepsi Showdown back in July. And of course, teams will be coming back, but this time there's going to be 4 teammates. The reason why I'm doing this is that, spoiler alert, we're actually going to have 29 cars in this series. I kind of realized after doing last year's 3 stocks with the 5 teammates like I did for Summer Series was a little too much. There wasn't really too much parity in my opinion, so I reduced it down to 4 teammates, but it's likely just going to be just for this series only if I do another Summer Series or another bigger scale series in the future. And also the driver ratings will be set to 94 for everything. And here are the car bodies themselves: the Chevy Impala, the Dodge Charger. We're using the old 2008 bodies. We did a poll down the Discord. It was either between the newer type of bodies or the older 2008 bodies, and the older 2008 bodies won. And these bodies still look good even to this day. The Gen 4 Nationwide cars or the Late Cup cars always look really good and still look good. And you can see also the last name is on the front banner as well. And here's the other 2, the Ford Fusion and the Toyota Camry. First time, once again, we've had a Toyota in one of our series. So next slide here, much like in the Winter Street Stocks last year, 1 paint scheme and 2 sponsors per driver just to reduce the load out of these painters, and plus there's all less time to paint these paint schemes compared to Summer Series, so there's that. But unlike Street Stocks from last year, where I had to have or required people to have local sort of sponsors, this time you can use any sponsor or any appropriate sponsor you want. The reason why I'm doing this is because last year when they did the local sponsor stuff, a lot of people got kind of confused. A lot of people didn't really get the message, and it was kind of a chore just to like ask everyone individually what sponsor they wanted to do, and there was a lot of like rude gray areas as well when it came to sponsors. So it was just kind of a it was a good concept in my opinion. It was a good concept, but execution could have been a lot better. So it was make it easier for everybody and just use whatever sponsor they want as long as it's appropriate, obviously. Be present for at least 1 premiere, and don't leave a comment in a race or after the race on Discord or whatnot. Of course, all of these races being on the holidays, hence the name. People, especially on Christmas and New Year's, everyone's going to be spending time with their family, friends, doing all the holiday stuff, right? But I still need at least some sort of way to track participation and viewership when it comes to the series, so that's one way I do that, by requiring people to do that, requiring people to be present for at least 1 race. The AI difficulty is set to 95 and 100 at the 1 Super Speedway race we're going to have in this mini-series. So there is a Super Speedway race we're going to have in the schedule, which we're going to take a look at very soon. Of course, respect painters, be patient for your car. I say this every time, but it's true. Please respect the painters, please. I put a big emphasis on that. Like, us painters have lives. A lot of us have, like, jobs, families, schools, or just everything. Or just other stuff they have to go through. And we only have so much time to paint these cars, and we want to make them the best it can possibly be. So please respect us and be patient. And you can use the races in your own videos, but be sure to credit me, so if you make a sort of a hype or music video or whatnot with my video on it, you can feel free to, but be sure to leave a link down below to my channel and the series and whatnot. So the points format is going to be the exact same points format we used for the last several series, the 2011 to 15 Xfinity size trucks format. I was considering switching to the old Winston format because it was a shorter season and the old Winston format did award more points compared to the Xfinity Trucks format. But since I'm really used to using the Xfinity Trucks format for these races at this point, I've what, 2 Summer Series seasons and the 3 stocks. I think it's better to stick to know what you're used to as opposed to trying something kind of new in a short amount of time. And of course, no playoffs. We don't do playoffs here. We don't do that garbage here. And the maximum number of drivers we're going to have is 29. I was originally going to do 30 because it's almost right between the 27 car from 27 cars we had from the Winter Street Stocks last year and the 35 we usually have for the Summer Series. But I choose 29 just because one track could not quite handle 30 cars, and I'm not really going to do a heat race with all the points and mumbo jumbo and stuff like that. So 29 maximum drivers for this series. Of course, drivers are required to join the official Discord server down below, follow all the rules and all that stuff. That's because I'm going to post all the signups, points, and everything in the server. And of course, you could be removed, fined, trash, suspended if rules are broken. Again, that really speaks for itself. The rules aren't really that hard to follow. You just follow the rules, you'll be okay. And now the moment y'all been waiting for, the official 2021 to 2022 Holiday Winter Racing League schedule. And like all the other series I've planned in the past, I've always tried to have like sort of a balanced schedule between where like the track is, what type of track is, and what time of day the track is. And I think this 4-race schedule just does that. So starting off race number 1 is actually a very familiar track and event on Christmas Day, Bowman Gray. So that's actually returning from the old Winter Street Stocks. Now, Bowman Gray on Christmas is actually one of the biggest reasons why I'm doing this series in the first place. Just because last year's Street Stocks race at Bowman Gray is actually the most viewed race on my channel, over 200 views as of right now. I was recording this. And I was really shocked how well that did. I thought it was going to be, if you think of the most viewed race, I thought, okay, it's going to be a Super Speedway Summer Series race. Nope, it was actually the Bowman Gray race on Christmas. So I wanted to keep that tradition alive somehow, so I decided to make this once again the opening race of a Winter Series. And pretty much everything from the Winter Street Stocks race on this race is actually going to be pretty much intact. Still 75 laps at night on Christmas Day exactly. Now, if you're wondering why the color on the bottom of the screen is a solid red as opposed to the 4-stripe color design we had the last time, it actually represents the different holidays we're going to race in. So, of course, this red represents Christmas, as well as the fact this was the season opener for the Winter Street Stocks last year. And now moving on to some of the newer stuff now, starting with race number 2 for our first ever Super Speedway race in the winter time at the Emmons Super Speedway. Now this track is a 3-mile long, obviously Super Speedway oval, similar to Pensacola if anyone's ever raced there before. 22 laps and will be during the daytime. And as you can see, there's actually the snow version of this track. There's a non-snow version of this track. But of course, this is wondering why don't we use the snow version? So definitely gonna be pretty interesting there. And it'll be on New Year's Eve as opposed to last year's race for the Winter Street Stocks during New Year's at Colorado was on New Year's Day. So I decided to do the New Year's Eve as opposed to New Year's Day, mainly due to the fact that Animal Crossing is also having a big New Year's Eve event, and I definitely do want to stream that, as I had a really good time streaming the last several Animal Crossing holidays on Halloween and also during the fireworks show. And of course, the color representing this race is purple, representing sort of like the fireworks going off in the background and whatnot, and a lot of party, like theme, New Year's party theme stuff have purple, so that's why I chose it. Now, you may be asking, wait, since it's an M&M's themed race, why didn't you go with yellow? And plus, purple isn't even official M&M's color. I went with purple just because, again, I think represents New Year's more, and the fact that yellow really works against the white. And also the fact that the yellow the M&M's brand uses really works against the white, if anyone's ever messed with colors before. Then we head to race number 3 at the Papyrus Motorsports Park on Martin Luther King Jr. Day on January 17th of next year. Now I'm saying, oh god, a road course as a semi-finale in a series this short, this is going to be horrible. But don't be fooled, this is not your typical NR road course. This is, if anything, this track shares more similarities to an intermediate track like Atlanta, like Chicago, and all those intermediates that the Cup Series usually goes to. This track has a lot more similarities to that as opposed to a normal road course. Basically what this is, it has the same amount of turns and overall shape as a road course, but the turns, the banking, honestly, the overall track width, like those intermediates like Atlanta and all that stuff. And of course, remember one of the more popular Summer Series tracks, 8-Bowl. This track was, the original version of this track was actually included with that 3-pack. So included this track, of course, 8-Bowl in Hillside, which is another really unique track made by Papyrus back in the day. But of course, as I'm seeing here, this is actually the newest 2021 version I found online. Of course, I'll leave a link to all the tracks I will race on during the respective races and everything like that. Very awesome, modern sort of redesign of this track. that's really, my opinion, one of the most underrated NR tracks out there. Like, when you hear about good fantasy tracks at NR, you typically think like 8-Ball, Armory Digital, all the action pack tracks and everything like that. But you know, never really hear this one, which is kind of a shame because this is, again, a really good racetrack. I'm going to show some test footage here of this, running a lap around this track here soon. Now, take a look at the track length itself. No, I did not make a typo, as I always do, seemingly. That's the actual length, 3.7 miles. The biggest track we've ever gone to in any series, even now Abu Dhabi from the 2020 Summer Series season, which clocked around just under 3.5 miles. So this is gonna be this is a really big track because of the fact this track has higher banks. It should provide higher speeds and also a better race as opposed to Abu Dhabi from last year. Of course, 16 laps on Martin Luther King Jr. Day on January 17th of next year. And I chose gold because the Hawks on their MLK jerseys use sort of gold accents around, use gold as one of the main colors, and I've always really liked those MLK jerseys the Hawks wear, so I chose gold to sort of follow in the footsteps of the color scheme for those jerseys and everything like that. Alright, so here's that promised test footage I'll show you from Papyrus. So we're coming off the final corner here. Again, very similar to what you see at intermediate. And coming towards the front straightaway. Going into the first turn. Again, very sweet, very fast sweeping corner. And you got sort of a mini straightaway here, and going into turn number 2. Very similar to Indianapolis, and nothing really like a road course. And then you go up here. This is where you kind of get sort of road coursey, sort of down the hill, and down this very banked corner of turn 3, or that turn 5, whatever. Get my point. Yeah, it's turn 3. Turn 4 now. And off that banking there, and then back up the hill, you hit the wall there a little bit. I don't know why the AI does that, but whatever. Turn 5. And then on to turn number 6. And off the banking, once again up the hill. We're going to go back downhill a little bit now for turn 7 and 8. So again, a huge credit to the person who made this updated version for Papyrus, as well as the mod we're going to be using during this series, so both of those, as well as the other tracks we're going to use in this series, will be linked down below. In final race number 4 of our finale race will be at the Kansas Speedway on President's Day, February 21st, of course the day after the Daytona 500. Now, even though people love to rag on, even though people love to rag on mile-and-a-half tracks in real life, in NR, they're actually really competitive. A lot of the races I've ran there have been very competitive. If you look at the last 2 Summer Series mile-and-a-half races at Atlanta and Chicagoland, they've had some of the most passing and action ever in a non-Super Speedway Summer Series race. Now, I decided to choose at least one, and I figured I'd always put 1 mile-and-a-half in the schedule. I mean, you can't really go off any one of them. A lot of them are very similar eyes and whatnot, but I decided to do Kansas because I've always liked Kansas ever since I started watching the sport like over 10 years ago at this point, which is crazy how long I've been watching NASCAR, but still, everyone knows what Kansas is. It's one of the more respected, beloved mile-and-a-halves on the real-life schedule, and hopefully should provide a good finale for us. And this will be a 38-lap race, as well as it being the only other night race besides Bowman Gray. And of course, it shows blue to represent, of course, as one of the main colors of the United States and its flag. So not much of an explanation is sort of needed for that. So finally, the last slide here, of course, the races will be pre-recorded and premiered on this YouTube channel, and they will be premiered on the exact holidays themselves. So of course, obviously the Christmas race will be on Christmas, New Year's Day will be on New Year's Eve, Martin Luther King race will be on Martin Luther King Day, and the President's Day race will be on President's Day itself, not like near like the day before, or the day after, on the exact days. And of course, start time for all these races will be 8 o'clock, barring of course any delays we've had in the last pretty much every series at this point. Now, a couple reasons why I've done a couple reasons why I do the holiday races. A couple reasons why I'm doing the races on the exact holidays, or I was trying to if I don't delay it for the 20th time, is 2 reasons. Number 1, in the past, whenever I had a race on the holiday itself, like the Firecracker 400 and 4th of July, and the Southern 500 on Labor Day itself, they have always done very well. Firecracker and Southern 500 are some of the most popular and well-received races for a summer series. And I think dedicating a whole series to that could hopefully can turn out very similar, if not the same results, or even better results, hopefully. And of course, if we're having a lot more holidays compared to summer, or just in general, Left a lot more opportunities to get a lot of views during probably some of the more busiest times of the year, especially with Christmas and New Year's. And number 2 is the fact that I have no school for all these holidays. Like I have my winter break on Christmas and New Year's, obviously, and the same can be said for President's Day. I've always had that day off for quite a while now, and hopefully I'm gonna take advantage of that like I did last year of the Winter Street Stocks. Now, of course, for our Summer Series of Winter Street Stocks Champion, you can use your reserves to sign up for the series. So I'll do what I did in the past, just DM the champions to form a couple days before the official signups, and go from there. And speaking of which, those signups will be on November 14th at 3:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So back to the traditional 3:30 p.m. time we've had for the first Summer Series season and the Street Stocks. Kind of reminiscent from the Summer Series this year. Don't have a noon sign-up time when a lot of people aren't even awake yet, honestly. And I was originally going to do, I can't really do on Saturday because I'll be at Red Atlanta the day before, so 14th on Sunday, or nothing really else is going on. Perfect timing or whatnot. The paint scheme deadline will be on December 19th. We're just at the 18th, but I changed it to the 19th just because I'll be on break at that point by then. I have more time to get everything set up or whatnot, and get everything ready to go. So with school not really being in the way, and not really being a factor at that point. And of course, the season opener will be on Christmas Day at Bowman Gray Stadium. And of course, good luck to everyone signing up for the series, and the ones that will sign up. Good luck to everyone competing for this championship and these wins. Now, much like the Winter Street Stocks, this year's Summer Series, and the Pepsi Showdown, we will once again use Google Forms to sign up, which I'll quickly walk through here once again. Okay, so here's the Google Form. So if you're very familiar with the Winter Street Stocks, this year's Summer Series, or in the Pepsi Showdown back in July. So pretty much the same questions once again. Who you want to be called, no impersonation please. How do you pronounce your driver name, what car make you're going to run. I've actually provided the pictures of what the cars will look like. I don't know why I didn't do it before, but here we go now. What number do you want? 0 for 99. I'll put the top 3 choices. I would choose whichever one's open first. What's your Discord name? Are you in the server? I probably have to change that link, but I can edit that later. Your YouTube name, your 2 sponsors, and your 1 paint scheme. Again, you're going to have 1 paint scheme maximum, just so we end distress from the painters. And here's the team signups. Once again, very similar to the Summer Series team signups, and also the Winter Street Stocks team signups in the past. Discord link, your Discord name, Discord link. The team owner's name, your team name, how many teammates you want to have, or your teammates, what car numbers, and what car make is your team. So once again, very familiar stuff if you've been in the last several series at this point. And like other team signups will actually wait about a day or so after the driver signups to open the team signups up. They'll actually open day and date with the team signups. So immediately after you're done with your driver signups, you can get the team signups and already fill that out and get that over with. And also, I'd probably have to change that GSS driver part as well, but that's besides the point. It's still not quite done yet. And yeah, but hopefully it will be by come Sunday at 3:30 p.m. And that will do it for the info video for the Holiday Winter Racing League. Honestly, I was supposed to have this video since I was done weeks ago, but at the same time, I wanted to make sure that this was going to be a quality series and make it the best I can possibly make it be, as well as just take a little break from NR, as Summer Series honestly took a really big toll on me, and I just need some time to relax and from NR and everything like that. But regardless, thank you all for watching. I hope everyone finds it informative and helpful, and I'll see y'all next time.